there's been times when, you've had calls and meetings, stacked up, and it's like, hey, when are we gonna have like some, one-on-one time?
Well, I don't think people fully understand our dynamic either, because it definitely is not a typical Utah culture dynamic. When I had a husband that was coming home miserable, like not thriving in his career, and I knew he wanted to do his own thing, and I just was like, I can take us on. Like, I was like, quit your job, do your thing. So it's been me that's been, on the financial side, like carrying our family, which I'm okay with, but that does have underlining effects in any male with like struggle with that, where an ego gets almost affected in that dynamic. And I think that also added to a lot of our
and that's where like therapy really came in, because like Trish helped us both recognize how we can value and appreciate and show up and show that appreciation and recognition to our partner. That's why therapy was so important.
Hey guys, Cassidy, and welcome back to The Law of Cassidy. This year tested us as partners, as parents, as business owners, and just two humans trying to grow, maybe a little bit of midlife, I don't know, mixed in there. But this episode's a little different. He's not even prepared. Look at him. He's like, what did you sign me up for? But the past year, I'm not going to lie, it was really hard. And we had a lot of therapy. We had a lot of growth. We had grief. We went through some of the messiest chapters of our relationship, which is why I have him here. We love the internet, but something you will learn about me is I am not gonna pretend like my life is perfect. And I'm very vulnerable and I'm very transparent. And as much as the whole world just thinks that I just am like this sex queen, and me and my husband just have this thriving, kinky, perfect little marriage, this is not going to be the Pinterest version. You're going to get the unedited one, and we're going to, yes, we will address the question that everyone wants to know, is how great is this dude's sex life being married to the sexfluencer? Is that a word?
I guess, yeah.
So let me introduce the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Josh Bybee. So Josh is here with me, and before we get into the deep stuff, I want you guys to have a chance to really meet him. So he's not just my husband or the luckiest man alive or has the kinkiest sex life. He's his own force, and he's going to be a regular voice around here. He does not know that he signed up for this, but here we are. So thanks for the support. So we're going to do the same stuff, the confessions from the DMs. We're going to covet this, the product, and we're going to get into it. So, okay, babe, for the people who don't know you yet, who is Josh Bybee in your own words?
Well, it's great to be here. It's first time behind the camera. I really don't have a face for TV, but here we go. I'm excited to be here. Who is Josh Bybee? I am just a simple man that likes simple things, and I've been kind of thrown into this big life because of all the big things that you are doing, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's been quite the ride, and it's been a lot of fun to see where this has taken us in the 11 years that we've been married, the almost 13 years that we've been together. So
I'm impressed you remember that.
I know, right?
It's impressive.
I studied all night preparing for this. So
Okay, so tell us about your background. Like, what did little Josh think he would be when he grew up?
So for going way back, I told you I'm kind of a simpleton. Way back, my first recollection of what I wanted to be was a zookeeper, and if I, didn't make it as a zookeeper, my backup plan is I was going to be a mountain man. So those were my two first goals in life, or interests, as far as what I wanted to be when I grew up. So
Well, you're kind of a zookeeper. We have chickens.
yeah, we do have chickens.
And you are a mountain man.
I try to be a mountain man every September, but
And August and July and January and
I try to spend as much time in the mountains as possible, August through November, really. So I do enjoy the mountains. That's where I feel at home, and I would take the mountains over the beach any day. So
that is why we are polar opposites, and sometimes opposites attract. Okay, so what is your current business, and what inspired you to start it?
So my current business, I have a supplement line. It's Deadshot Nutrition.
Whoop, whoop.
Yep. Deadshot Nutrition, it's targeted nutrition or targeted performance for, the outdoor athlete. What inspired it was, my passion and love for the outdoors, as well as, my background. So I studied nutrition in college at Weber State University. I actually took all the nutrition courses available at the time. This is back in the late 2000s. Studied nutrition, and while I was, after my associate's degree, I had a friend that got a job at a company called VMI Nutrition. And at the time, when he told me he got this job at this company, VMI Nutrition, my ears kind of perked up, and I was like, oh, I love nutrition. In my 20s, I was into bodybuilding. I never competed, never stepped foot on stage. I think I did it more, for the ladies, or thinking I was going to get attention from the ladies, but that didn't really happen. But I was into bodybuilding, and I was really into fitness and into nutrition. And so this buddy, he had gotten this job, and I asked him about it. He told me, yeah, we make, powders. We manufacture nutritional powders, like protein powders, pre-workouts. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And I pretty much just kind of bugged him about, if they had any job openings every time I saw him. And eventually I saw a post on Facebook that he made that they had a job opening, and it was for an account manager. And at the time, I was an account manager at Market Star in Ogden. And so I had about 3 years of experience as an account manager. So I was like, oh, perfect. My background with, as an account manager at Market Star, and my, just my knowledge of nutrition from my studies in college, at the university, as well as just like my passion, and interest in, fitness and nutrition. This is like a perfect fit. So I applied, and, he put in a good word. I got an interview, interviewed for the account management position, and then a few days later they called me back, and they were a fairly new company, a small business, a small manufacturing plant here in Salt Lake City. And they called me back, and they said, hey, we'd like you to come back in for a second interview. And so I went in for a second interview, and when I went in for that second interview, they said, in your first interview, you told us about your background and, kind of nutrition and studying that at school, and just like your love and interest in, nutrition and fitness. We're looking to open or start a department, a research and development department, specifically here at VMI, and would you be interested in being on our R&D team? Mm-hmm. And of course, I said, yeah, that would be awesome. So I interviewed, and then had a third interview specifically for a research and development manager position, and I was hired shortly after that. And that was back in the start, March of 2013. So I got that position, and right away, it was just baptism by fire. Didn't know what I was
Literally.
doing. I quickly learned what food science was, because it was more of a food science trade, or job description. And I learned that there's actually, there's a food science degree. BYU here in the state of Utah offers, that degree, but through working there, just kind of learned the trade. And over the course of the next 10 years, just kind of, I learned that skill set. And I spent my time as a R&D manager / scientist, eventually spent time managing the application labs at the different manufacturing plants I worked at. That included, weighing out powders, developing flavors, and, eventually kind of made a name for myself as a flavorist within that space. That space being dry powders, anything from protein powders to pre-workouts to BCAAs. And eventually, your business got to a place where I was able to quit my 9-to-5.
Yep.
And venture out and, start my own thing.
Because you're making everyone else's, and you're like, why am I making everyone else's? I'm the guy behind the curtain.
Well,
you were the Wizard of Oz, and you're like, why don't I just do my own thing?
Well, yeah. I mean, it was a position where, I saw your success, and I grew up, in a home where, I don't know, that entrepreneurial spirit wasn't. I mean, it's there. Like my dad owns his own business, but like big picture, like, I always wanted something, secure, that like secure paycheck.
Yeah.
And, I remember when we were first together, right? When we had been married just a few months, and you were offered a position
At the hair school.
At the hair school. Your sister was managing this hair school, and she offered you a position at the hair school, and it was a salaried
Sales position.
Yeah, sales position
like
with
to
salary.
sell, like, people coming to the school.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at the time, like, your base was $40,000, and then on top of that, you could like make commissions. Like, I think you could max out at, like, with commissions just over 50, if I remember correctly. And I remember like mathing, like at the time I was like making $45,000 a year, and I would get, some bonuses. So I just remember thinking like, oh my God, like we would be almost making $100,000 a year, salary. Like,
And I was like, nope.
yeah. And you said no way. I have my business, and I want to.
It's going to be bigger.
It's going to be bigger, and I remember I didn't really see the vision,
No.
right?
No.
And I'm so glad that you didn't listen to me.
Yeah. Like always, per usual. Okay, so
Not always. That's not true.
what's been the most surprising thing about building your own business from scratch? What do you think has been like the hardest, most difficult thing?
The most surprising thing is just how hard it is.
Yeah.
That's been the most surprising thing. With my experience, just my knowledge in the industry that my business is in, just understanding that industry, I really thought, it'd be easier. I thought, with my background, people would, oh yeah, just kind of be more willing to just like, buy my product. And, I've had a lot of support. It's been great, but there's been a lot of trial and error.
Yeah.
And entrepreneurship really is like, jumping off a building and then like building a plane on the way down, right? Like
1,000%.
Yeah, and that's like I think I going into it definitely was a little prideful and arrogant, and I didn't realize it until I started it. and you get humbled pretty quick.
Do you think that maybe that came from like like you seeing me in like full like business mode, but like I was, I don't know, 15 years in at this point, and so you thought that maybe your dynamic was like, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, did you think that maybe, oh, this is going to be fine? Like Cass has a thriving business, but like you didn't see like the first like 10 chapters of my business in the 10 years before. And so maybe you just thought like, oh, this is how it's going to work.
Yeah. Like I thought, I think, looking back, I think a lot of times, just in life, you just kind of mask like your insecurities with like, overconfidence. And I realize that now, like a lot of like my, some of the even like cockiness that I had, starting the business I started, that overconfidence that I had, maybe was like some of the insecurities I had going into it.
Yeah.
And, it's just like been a really good teaching moment for me, and just a lot of growth has occurred for me because I've been able to like step back and like identify those things that like, okay, Josh, like you're really not like as cool as you think you are. Like
you're cool.
Like you really have some things you need to work on. You do have, some weaknesses. It's okay to need help and ask for help. Yeah. It's okay to be vulnerable. And those things are all lessons that I have learned, starting my own business.
Okay. So what's something people don't know about me as a businesswoman?
What's something people don't know about you as a businesswoman?
I made sure to find really good questions for you
Oh,
guys.
wow. Yeah, that's deep. Well, I think, people like, I think people see really successful business owners like yourself, and they just think that, you just have unwavering, confidence
Or luck.
and all the time about everything. And, that's something that's just not true.
No.
You're human. You have self-doubt. There's times when, you question yourself, and there's times when you don't feel adequate.
Yeah.
And, that's everybody. I don't care like how successful you are. And, I think that's, what I would say to that.
It's like driving down here. You're like, are you nervous? I was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing a podcast today. Like,
Right.
Hopefully it's good. I mean,
Yep.
Totally. Okay. What's it like being married to someone like me who's very online, talks about sex publicly, and kind of just says anything and everything?
So that's really interesting because, when we were first dating and the first, couple of years of our marriage, I really had a hard time with just being in the public eye and with, how much you were online. I'm definitely more of a private person. I'm more of an introvert and, starting my own business, that's been one of the biggest challenges is like putting myself out there online, putting myself out there just in general. And that's been, really hard for me. And for you, that just comes natural. Right. And so there was definitely
tension.
like some tension and friction there, but I've learned, just through, time and experience really is the teacher of all things. Right. And I've learned, through our relationship, through experience that, she sees it differently. Her approach is different, and she's right. And you see it different, and your approach is different, and you're right. And, you just got to accept it and support it. And, you know, and that's what I've come to terms with is like, I may not always see it the way you see it,
And vice versa.
Yeah. But I always will support it because, you know, I trust you and I believe in you. So, you know, that's what's important.
Totally.
So,
okay. We're going to do some fun before we do more serious. So I have a round of questions for you, and these are like kind of funny. So like have fun with it.
okay.
Okay. This is no judgment zone. Okay. If our relationship were a reality show, what would it be called?
If our relationship was a reality show, what would it be called?
I mean, you can just,
I don't know.
You want to say dumpster fire, like you said?
Yeah. If our relation, like if our life,
it just says if our relationship were a reality show, what would it be
if our
called?
relationship was a reality show, what would it be called?
First thing that pops in your head. Don't overthink it. I know you're an overthinker.
Yeah,
Dumpster fire.
Yeah. Cassidy's shit show and her husband. I don't know.
Okay, if you heard me yelling at someone during a call, what would you assume it's about?
If I heard you yelling
At someone on a phone call, what would you assume it's about?
If I heard you yelling at someone about
on a phone call, just like
call.
a dramatic phone call, because I never have those. What would you assume it was about?
Hair.
Hair?
Yeah, hair or.
Oh, okay.
Or I would say like, I don't know, maybe. It would probably be something like, you know, an item is out of stock. Yeah, an item.
That
like,
did piss me off when that happened.
Yeah, like an item's out of stock. Like
That's like triggering for me because there was a lot of that.
Yeah.
Okay. What's one comment you've read about me that made you want to fight someone?
Well, I can't, you know, remember anything specifically, but, you know, comments that, you know, attack, like, any comment that, like, attacks, like, you, like your character or you as a mother.
Like the one we saw on Friendsgiving where somebody was commenting about.
Yeah. You
our
being
being a
about
bad
our
mom.
family, about being a bad mom.
Yeah,
And,
because we get those.
yeah. So.
Yeah. Gotta love the keyboard.
Those comments bother me.
Yeah.
All the other ones I just laugh at.
What's the weirdest thing you found in the house because of my job?
What's the weirdest thing? I don't know, like that stuffed clitoris thing. That
The pillow that you didn't know
the
what
pillow that looked like a turkey wishbone. I don't know.
that I posted and said, "Man, what is this?"
Yeah.
And a dude said, "Your lungs," and you said, "What did you say?" What was your first answer?
I said vagina, but I thought it looked like a.
You said vagina, you know, like maybe uterus.
No, I
tubes.
I said vagina, and you're like, no. And I was like, what? I guess the fallopian tubes.
Who's the real diva in the relationship, me or you?
You.
It's a lie.
Oh.
I'm always waiting on you. You're never ready.
Yeah.
What is something that I do that drives you insane, but you've just accepted at this point?
She can't load a dishwasher.
That is such a lie.
I freaking cannot stand the way you load a dishwasher.
It's just dishes. Just throw it in there, man.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I've shown you so many times the way you load a dishwasher.
Doesn't matter.
You can optimize how many dishes you put in the dishwasher. It cleans the dishes better. They design dishwashers a certain way to load dishes.
You guys didn't know you were getting dishwasher 101 today?
That's just true. That's true. Like if we took a home ec, I took home ec. I took home ec.
I did not learn how to load a dishwasher at home
I took home ec.
I made like peanut butter bars and
I took
shit.
home ec in high school.
Yeah.
Not only did they teach us how to bake chocolate chip cookies, they teach you how to load a dishwasher. Most people
They didn't teach us that at Ogden High.
have forgot. Well,
It's
I
Ogden
don't know.
High.
I guess they taught you how to like wash dishes by hand there.
Yeah, funny. Okay.
Just
have you ever felt pressure to catch up, and how do you process that? Oh, Steve, sorry.
Have I ever felt
Pressure to catch up, and how do you process
catch
that?
up to?
I don't anything in general.
I've felt pressure to catch up to like my buddies that have shot bigger deer than me.
Of course, that's your answer. Okay. What's one thing you used to misunderstand about what I do that you now totally respect?
What's
one?
the social media?
Okay.
100%, 1,000%. I used to, even like in 2020 when you like started doing the TikTok thing, I remember when you had that one video go viral and it had nothing to do with business. At first, when you started TikTok, it was nothing to do with business.
It was a video of Jovi with the curlers in her hair.
Jovi with curlers in her hair.
Baby.
And you just had this, video go viral and it was, TikTok was new in 2020 and everything, the world was weird. And you had this video go viral and you're like, oh, TikTok, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to like start posting on here. And I was like, oh my gosh, just another social media platform, whatever. And, and then you started to, you're like, I think I can, implement my business with this. And, I didn't oppose that, but, definitely, social media just in general, like I was kind of like, I've definitely done a full 180 on that.
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. It's a lot of work. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to just get into some deeper stuff. Are you ready? Do you need to stretch first?
No.
Okay. We've been through a lot of therapy. Shout out to Trish. We love you, Trish.
Yeah.
We do love Trish. Okay.
I think everybody should go to therapy.
Yes.
Couple therapy is awesome.
What was this year like for you?
2025 it's been a tough year. Like so many good things have happened, but there's also been a lot of like challenges, a lot of things that we've had to, relationships that we've had to, move past and let go that, we weren't expecting, and that's hard.
A lot of that.
Yeah, a lot of that. And just, a lot of change, that, we knew change was coming and, you plan on the change and you anticipate it and you do your best to, orchestrate the change, but
you're never ready for it.
Well, you're never ready for it, and it never
you're
really
not in control of it either.
It never really goes the way you think it's going to.
It's like when I switched product I was going to talk about, and I thought it was just going to be a click of a button.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay. Where do you think things started to shift for us and got really hard this last year?
When I had to get my appendix removed and you told me to just lay down and that I was, you said that I was just, I don't know, just lay down.
I was raised by a nurse.
Yeah.
And my mom was always like, is it bleeding? Is it broken? You're fine. And this is our second experience where Josh had a serious medical issue.
No, I was like,
and
I'm
I just
sick.
was like,
I'm
buck
like,
up.
I was like, no, babe, like I'm really sick. And she's like, well, just go lay down. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. And like 30 minutes later, after laying there in agony, I came up to her and I was like, we need to go to Instacare. And she was
my mom.
She was like so annoyed. She's like, well, for what? And I was like, I don't know. Like I'm just having like really bad, like sharp pains in my, stomach. She's like, what, do you have an upset stomach? I'm like, no, it's not that. Like
Someone's stabbing me.
Yeah. Like I feel like there's a knife in my side. And we went to Instacare and we were there for like 10 minutes and they sent us straight to the ER and then
got your appendix out right before Hawaii.
An hour later, I was getting my appendix removed.
Yeah, but that's not what I meant. I meant like
so that was the turning. That was the turning point.
Jesus.
So
take it serious. Okay. Have you ever felt like I didn't need you, and how did that affect you?
Did I ever feel like?
Yeah, in the last year. Did you ever feel like there were moments where I like didn't need you?
Where you didn't need me. Yeah, there's been times, because there's been a lot of change, a lot of moving pieces, and like there's just been, you got a lot on your plate, right?
Yeah.
A lot of big things, and yeah, there's been times when you've had calls and meetings, stacked up, and it's like, hey, when are we gonna have like some, one-on-one time.
Well, I don't think people fully understand our dynamic either, because it definitely is not a typical Utah culture dynamic. When I had a husband that was coming home miserable, like not thriving in his career, and I knew he wanted to do his own thing, and I just was like, I can take us on. Like, I was like, quit your job, do your thing. So it's been me that's been, you know, on the financial side, like carrying our family, which I'm okay with, but that does have underlining effects in any male would like struggle with that, where an ego gets almost affected in that dynamic. And I think that also added to a lot of our
and that's where like therapy really came in, because like Trish helped us both recognize, you know, how we can value and appreciate and show up and show that appreciation and recognition, you know, to our partner. You know, like, you know, that's why therapy was, you know, so important.
And that's fun little story. We had a Friendsgiving and we went around the table and we were asked to share something we love about our spouse.
Yeah. So, you know, I just want to say something about that.
I thought this was great.
Yeah, no, it was great. But, you know, when we were going around the table and I kind of made the comment, I was like, oh, this year was like, it was so, you know, it was tough. Like Cass and I had like the toughest year.
We did.
And I like did a little fake cry, and people took it serious.
They
like
thought you were crying?
They took it like way serious, and the tone, like everybody got like super quiet.
This is where you and I are so different.
And
I did not even notice this.
Yeah, I was totally sarcastic, and then you went right into it, and I was like, whoa, that's way too heavy. Like, yeah, it was the hardest year.
Well,
and there was some truth to it, but I was just kind of like trying to lighten the mood and be a little sarcastic, and everybody took it so serious, and like the whole mood just got more serious. And I was like, oh man, like,
I think it's because
we got to cut to another couple and lighten it, you know, and luckily Travis and Erica did that.
Yeah. Well, that group,
man, that was heavy.
That group knows
what
we've been through. It's been a lot. And
the
thing I did say, going back to that full circle moment, was like, there's something powerful in a man that is willing to work. And I'm not saying like show up, clock in, clock out, or provide for his family. I'm saying work on his own, you know, emotional, like trauma, work on his own. Like, we all have things, and it takes work to go to therapy as a male by yourself. It's not talked about. It's very taboo. People don't talk about it. A lot of men, we talked about it this morning, like hide themselves in their emotions, their depression, their traumas in drinking or gambling. Like they don't do it. And that is something that's kind of why I wanted to have you on the first episode, is to share, like, I'm gonna cry. Like, that is something that I love about you, is that you were willing to do that, because it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Well, for both of us.
Yeah. I was raised the way I was raised. You just kind of like suppress those feelings, right? And you don't talk about them, and, you know, and it's helped for sure.
What would you say to another couple who's listening, who's in the middle of a really hard season?
In a really hard season, like, don't give up on each other, and you know, go to therapy. Get someone else involved, a therapist, a licensed therapist. You know, don't involve too many other parties.
No.
You know, don't involve a lot of friends. Don't involve a lot of family. You don't need too many voices, but you need another voice, and that voice, you know, a voice of reason, and that can be a therapist, helping you guys, you know, navigate whatever you're going through. I'll tell you, the easy route is to give up. And, you know, I've talked to friends that have done that, and, you know, they've just given up. And, you know, I think a lot of people regret that. And, you know, every relationship comes to different, you know, points and crossroads and intersections, and, you know, in their life. And, you know, you have decisions to make, and, you know, ultimately it's just, you know, what you committed to each other, and really, you know, putting forth the effort to make it work.
And I think we did really good. We had a therapy session, which we don't need to get into, but it got pretty intense. And our therapist literally said, she's like, I need you guys to table this, and you can't talk about it at home.
And we didn't.
We didn't. And I think that was a big turning point for us, because you go home and you don't have that third party, and it comes out and it's bad. Like, it gets really bad. And I think that's what we've learned in therapy, is like being able to allow that third party to take control of a situation. And then we have to, and it's hard. Like, I'm definitely one that likes to tackle things head on. I'm a fixer. Like, for me to not like talk about it, like I was like actually shocked with us that we didn't.
And I'm the one that likes to get the last word.
Oh,
yeah. I like to get the last word. And, you know, it's funny because, you know, the thing is, like, I've learned, like, we're adults, and it doesn't matter how old you are. Like, we all have our inner child, and we all do just like stupid things.
Stupid shit. Yeah.
Say stupid things.
Oh yeah.
And, you know,
Get
that's
triggered by dumb shit.
Yeah. And that's why it's so good to have, you know, that third party. And, you know, that's, I would, you know, just going back to your question, just to close it. If you're really struggling, you know, you're going through a rough patch, you know, before you decide anything on the future, you know, really put forth the effort, and a licensed, you know, therapist is definitely highly recommended.
I would totally drop ours info, but I don't know if she's taking on new people, because she's great. And she's awesome. Okay. So back to like the last question I'm going to ask you, and then we're going to do some of the like signature podcast stuff. You down with that?
What's signature
like
podcast stuff?
Just
do we have like a theme song?
Yeah, just roll with this, okay?
Right.
Okay, so how do you
poem?
feel watching me launch Covet and this podcast?
How do I feel? I feel, you know, very, very excited. I feel very proud, because I've seen how far you've come. Like, you're very capable. And, you know, there's times when you've doubted yourself.
Oh, yeah, still do.
Yeah, you still do. And, you know, it's always easier to, you know, be on the outside, you know, looking in and have the confidence, right, at times. And I know that, you know, you're going to do big things, and I'm excited for it. And, you know, I think it's definitely your calling. Like, I think, you know, people in life, they find their calling through, you know, experience and, you know, going through life, and this is definitely your calling. So really excited for it.
Yeah. Thanks, babe. Okay. So confessions in the DMs is something I do in every episode. So,
okay. All right.
How do you keep intimacy alive when you feel disconnected emotionally? This is what someone's asking.
How do you keep intimacy alive when you feel
disconnected emotionally?
That's deep.
So I'm going to share this, and you may hate me for saying this, but like when I say we had a rough patch, and a lot of it, surprisingly, which is why I'm having him here and sharing this and vulnerably being open about it, was attached to intimacy. Like, we had a lot of like, you know, why you never want to have sex, like, and it was stress. Like, there was a lot of dynamics there, and I had an idea, which I'm going to give this suggestion. He didn't love this idea, so we didn't try this idea, but I still think we should try this idea, because I think it's a great idea, because, you know, I'm right, he's right, we're both right. Doesn't mean anyone's wrong, but it might be a fun little challenge. And that's to, as dumb as it sounds, and I get it, like, people are like, nobody wants scheduled sex. Like, nobody wants to. So I was like, why don't we like schedule like this day, like, we know what's happening.
It's like Monday Night Football.
like Monday Night Football, like
Thursday Night
hump
Football.
day, we're humping it out. But then it was like, you get to pick a day, and then it's like everything you want. So it's like leading up to this, like the sexting, the conversations, like, you know, whatever, like things you want, what you want to do during that intimacy session, whether it's, oh, I want a full massage and then a bath and then a blowjob and then whatever. Right. Or like, and then I pick a night, and then we both get to like, but Josh did not love this idea. And I think it was just because we were in the heat of the like working through it, but I think we should try it.
Yeah.
Do you want hump day or Friday?
Why? Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what I would say is when it's hard, when you're feeling disconnected emotionally, usually what it is it's like Josh said in the beginning, like that's why therapy is so good, is we are two totally different people. And like the way that I approach things, to Josh, it's like abrasive, it's intense, it's, you know, and so you got to learn how to like communicate. You got to learn what each other needs. Like Josh likes to be touched. So does my daughter. Like they are touchy people. And sometimes I'm just like,
it's like my love language.
Yeah,
That's something we did in therapy.
It is. And what is mine?
Gifts and
No,
money.
it's acts of service first. Josh just thinks I like gifts. Gifts. She just loves gifts. But it is something I do. If you're someone who's in my life, I am a giver. Like I like to give gifts. I love to give nice gifts. Anyways, so that's what I would say is like really working on that. Like what is your significant other's love language? What are their wants, their needs, their desires? Like how can you map that into your life? Because life does get crazy and busy and all those things. Okay. Now we're going to talk about a product, and you don't have to pipe in, but you can. And if your mom listens, it might make her uncomfortable. Sorry, Cassie. Okay. He's like getting red. Okay. So next is the Covet This, where I talk about a product.
Okay.
And I wanted to talk about probably the most controversial product that gets the most like crap on the internet. Which one do you think that is?
That gets the most crap?
Yeah. That people just have the most to say about.
But the butt plug.
No.
Oh.
Really? The extenders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's laughing.
That's awesome.
So a lot of people like see this. I sell so many of them.
Yeah.
And don't knock it till you try it. We don't have to go into that, but whatever. But it's like
they come in a few colors.
We only have one color.
Oh.
Okay, so it adds length and girth. So it literally is like hollow. You can like slide into it. It's got like a chin strap under it.
Yeah. For an extra charge, you can also have it named.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Do not listen to him.
Spice
Anyways,
it up a little bit.
Like I think there's a lot of dudes out there that like just they talk shit on it, and they're like, "Oh, this is for the little wheelie guy." Or that's why I wanted to bring this up. How much crap have you gotten on your shit about this device?
Oh yeah, there for a little bit I did.
Yeah.
That's the guy that uses the extender.
Yeah, which I never mentioned our sex life in it, but they're like, "Oh, your man must have a little wheelie," and I'm like, "No, you're just probably boring." Like, the way I break it down is it's like, okay, men are very visual creatures, and you all watch porn anyways. Like, you're watching a sex toy go into a girl, and it turns you on. So then why don't you just turn yourself into the sex toy that's going into your girl? That's a different experience. Like, what's wrong with that, right?
It's one way to look at it,
right?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it was funny because he would be doing like hydro videos, and a dude would be like, "You like the extender?"
So there was like that's gone away, but there for a little bit. Yeah, it was
a little
a
crazy.
little intense, but that's funny.
So we just need normalized tools to help us feel good and like spice things up and try new things and like.
Yeah, I mean, there's.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like a lot of people, like everybody's a freak in the bedroom.
Not everybody.
Well, everybody wants to be a freak in the bedroom.
Everyone's primal.
Everybody's primal. That's right.
Yes.
Everybody's primal.
Yes.
And look, you can't suppress those feelings.
Nope.
You gotta be freaky. All right. You gotta be primal.
Yes.
And, and what goes on in the bedroom is between you and your partner.
And if you have questions, hit me up.
And if you have questions,
don't ask Josh. He probably doesn't know the answer.
Do not ask me. I don't want to know anything about that. And I don't want you to ask me anything.
No.
But.
Yeah. So that was the Covet This week, was to talk about the extenders.
Yes.
Because they're actually fun. They're great. I sell a ton of them. Make sure you use the loop, though. It's important. It'll be really uncomfortable. Yeah. Okay. Link for
we should look into, for that upcharge, they could have the extender named. That might be
weird.
Be a business.
Are you going to name him?
No, I'm just saying, like.
Oh, geez, you're so weird. Okay, so my website's in the show notes, and, I always want the tea, so if you try it, go ahead and spill it to me. He doesn't want to know. Okay. The last thing we're going to do is another thing I'm doing. The other thing I'm doing is called Cassidy's Law, because this is the law of Cassidy. Okay. You ready for it? It's a good one.
Cassidy's Law. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Right.
Love isn't proven in the easy seasons. It's built in the choosing over and over again, even when it's hard.
That was a law?
Yeah.
Oh, what was it again? I kind of spaced
Pretty
out.
much it's like love isn't like proven when it's easy.
Okay.
It's built when you choose over and over again when it's hard. And I felt like that talks about our entire year. Right? Like there were times where I was like, get the fuck out of my house. Go sleep at your mom's.
And I just went golfing.
That's so true. Okay. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for doing this with me.
welcome.
Everybody wants to know, do you have the kinkiest, wildest sex life?
No, it's actually pretty vanilla.
It is not vanilla.
Okay, it's vanilla with like
Hot fudge
chocolate.
sundae?
Yeah, no.
Every once in a while?
Yeah, like
Only on
caramel,
hump
yeah, maybe like some whipped cream.
Josh was vanilla. He took some training.
Yep.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
And then he married me.
Yeah, that's right.
But we are not in the sex swing every day, so you guys
No,
know.
it's like vanilla with like some cookie dough and whipped
Cookie
cream.
dough?
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone go follow Deadshot_Nutrition. His hydration's amazing. Whoop, whoop.
Yep.
Also, if this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who needs it. And I'm going to talk about next week because Josh loves this girl too. So next week, we're sitting down with my girl, Haley Mason.
Dr.
Mason. She's a nurse practitioner, and she has over a decade with experience in the bioidentical hormone therapy.
Give us a follow. Listen to that episode. At the end of that episode next week, we'll be giving out a free 12-pack of Diet Mountain Dew.
You're such a shithead. She's going to be so mad at you for that. Me and Haley will talk about diet soda. Okay, so she's built a practice around helping men and women feel their actual best selves. So we're going to be talking about energy, libido, hormones, aging, sex drive. Also, her badass vaginal rejuvenation machine. That thing was awesome. You got to experience it firsthand.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways. You're not crazy. Your body's not broken. Haley's your girl, and we're going to talk about all that stuff. So until then, I'm Cassidy, and this is The Law of Cassidy. And thank you, Mr. Bybee. Next time.